Hello, class. Congratulations. If you're watching this video, it means you've made it inside the course. Here is your course orientation. Human Sexuality is an asynchronous course that examines sexual health from biological, sociocultural, and cognitive behavioral perspectives. Students study human physiology, how attitudes and behaviors affect sexual well-being and integrity, what supports healthy relationships, and how these factors influence overall health. The course emphasizes informed, responsible choices within a health sciences framework, and this 16-week course meets from Monday, August 24th through Friday, December 11th. Student responsibilities. I expect students to log in 2 to 3 times a week. This way you get assignments that are posted. You need to log in again in order to submit. And sometimes assignments might change in the course. So if you're logging on 2 to 3 times a week, you get all that information. Submit assignments on time. It's imperative that students submit assignments on time. Not doing so can result in penalty points. Share your thoughts and opinions rather than relying on AI. Human sexuality is a very personal subject, so putting yourself into the course is very important for you to get the most benefit out of it rather than relying on artificial means to get the work done. And lastly, exercise courtesy and respect with your classmates. You're going to interact with your classmates on discussions and responding to some of their work, their assignments. So exercising kindness and thoughtfulness when talking to your classmates is extremely important and it gets you further along in the course. You might even make a friend. Accessing assignments. Students must access materials through modules. Now that you're inside Canvas, you can see modules in the left navigation. Use modules to access the assignments. However, you will see a to-do list either on your dashboard. You'll also see it on the home page. The to-do list is a quick way to get to the assignments, but it does not include the information that you need in order to complete the assignment. It's just the assignment. So to be successful in this class, to pass this class, revert to modules rather than the to-do list. The Canvas layout. So these six tabs here are what students are going to use most often. One of your assignments for the orientation is to download the Canvas app and complete a syllabus quiz. The announcements will come through the Canvas app. However, I will also provide a voice message of those instructions, and those will be housed in modules every other week. The syllabus tab is what you can use to find out all the information about the course, including the full course calendar for the entire semester. So it's a good way to use that to map out how you're going to, when your due dates come up, and how you're going to figure out how to get those things done. Grades. Every student has their own grades tab and it has all the assignments listed. You can see whether you completed the assignment, how much you got for it. And if there are assignments that you've missed, you can reach out to me and we can make arrangements to complete those assignments, given that those assignments are still in a module that's not locked. Okay, but we'll discuss that when that comes about. All right, and then the last tab, Tech Connect Zoom. Tech Connect Zoom is what you will use to join me for office hours. My office hours are on Tuesdays from 12 to 1. Okay. The course is organized into 3 modules. The first module consists of 5 weeks. By the end of the first module, students will be able to identify key contributors to health science, differentiate sex and gender, recognize the reproductive anatomy and physiology of females and males, explain the differences between STIs and STDs, and understand issues related to sexual dysfunction. Module 2 is also 5 weeks. By the end of that 5 weeks, students will be able to identify key concepts related to love and social belonging, as well as male and female sexual responses. They will understand the anatomy and physiology of sexual function, recognize how religion and family influence these topics, and understand the concept of becoming parents. All right. And for the last module, which is the longest of the 3, it is 6 weeks. By the end of this module, students will have a deeper understanding of various topics, including cohabitation, the role of artificial intelligence in sexuality, which is a growing topic, and I'm really enjoying learning about it and sharing that information. Marriage, aging, Bay Area human trafficking, which is also another, it's not a new topic, but it's definitely a topic that needs our attention. The ethics surrounding female genital mutilation and male circumcision, parenting transgender youth, issues faced by LGBTQI adults, relationship violence, and atypical sexual relationships. So it's a lot. Um, and I hope you enjoy learning about all of that information. Okay, now on to the course pace. Assignments are posted every Friday and are due within a set time frame. Okay, weekly, you should expect reading. There are maybe a dozen films that we are watching in this course. So there's several films. Activities are things like reading information and completing a concept map. There are also ladder activities. Ladder activities will happen within a certain uh, block of time, like 9 to 12, 12 to 3, stuff like that. And the ladder activities are for extra credit. You'll get more information about that later. Discussions. Some discussions require that you just respond to the questions, the topic, and other discussions require that you not only respond to the questions, but also respond to your classmates. All right. There's also surveys. Some are political and some are social. There's 3 quizzes, which I'll talk about more on the next slide. And there are assignments. Those together, these assignments will add up to 1,100 points. Okay. And that's your overall for the semester. Quizzes. Quizzes are based primarily on the reading material, and you'll be informed if you're expected to know outside information. That information will probably come from a video or other information that's already housed in Canvas that I decide to pull and add to the test. The quiz dates. Quiz 1 is September 22nd. That's when it would open at midnight, and it will close at 11:59 on September 23rd. October 22nd and 28th are quiz 2, and quiz 3 is December 8th and 9th. All of these quizzes relate to the modules. There is no midterm. There is no final. All of these quizzes are given individually. Okay. Course material. It's very important that you have, not only important, it's imperative that you have a smart device to complete the assignments in this course. A computer is best, because it just functions better to access the materials, complete quizzes, and watch film. You have more issues with cell phones and tablets. However, you can turn to the library. They have a student program where students can borrow smart devices to complete their work. So you can look into that resource if you need to. I ask that students have access to Microsoft Word and Google Docs to submit their assignments. If you use Google Docs, please remember to give me access to your submission so I can correct it. Netflix, of the dozen or so films that we're going to watch, two of them are going to be on Netflix. And the assignments associated with those films are heavily weighted. So I suggest you find a way to get access to Netflix. Lastly, there is no text for this class. All of your reading materials have been embedded in Canvas for your convenience. All right. And lastly, contacting me. My virtual office hours are Tuesdays from 12 to 1. You can use the Tech Connect Zoom icon in the left navigation to reach that. I am also available on Wednesdays from 12 to 1. That's the time that I set aside for my other class. If neither of those times work, you can inbox me in Canvas and we can set a time to meet. That's convenient for both of us. Now that you've made it to the end of the video, you will receive your 30 points. I hope the semester goes well for you. If you have any questions or comments, don't hesitate to contact me. And we will be talking very, very soon.